Hi everyone, my name is Marj Murray. I work for a company called Breathwork Africa, and we really teach the art and science of conscious breathing. My passion is to work with young people and children and being able to integrate this into family life.
And I'm Nicola Elwood. I'm a physiotherapist and I specialise in stress management, mindfulness and breathwork. I teach courses for women, and Marj and I taught a number of breathwork courses at schools and for children, and a mindfulness program in schools. So we're just here to share some of our experience and some of what's going on, and hopefully some helpful tools for you over this time and going forward, because our breath is a really important tool for helping us to calm and helping us to ground, and Marj will explain a little bit more about that. But just to say some of my experience, I've got a number of different businesses and aspects of my work, and over the last week or two, as everyone's talked about isolating and slowing down, certainly our schedules have slowed down, but things have become a lot more intense at home. I find we've got 3 children. I find this morning, as an example, our daughter of 13 is asking me for accounting help. I never did accounting at school. I'm desperately trying to figure out her accounting help. At the same time, my son, who's 11, is on his Google Hangout with his teacher, getting the update of the week. The sound is terrible, 23 little boys online. Some are muted, some aren't, and the teacher's going through things quickly, and I can see his stress levels rising as he's trying to hear what's going on and what's expected of him. My 9-year-old is saying that he hasn't yet done his reading from yesterday, and please can we do it today, and I'm trying to tell him that we've got 21 days of quiet where we'll be able to, and trying to manage the stuff that I'm trying to get into our house and out to other people in this one day before lockdown. And so it's been a very intense time, and I think a lot of mothers are finding, and families are finding, that children are suddenly at home and needing a lot more help. Some of us have staff, some don't have staff. We're suddenly having to do cooking, cleaning. Everyone wants to eat 3 times a day. It's a lot. And so I feel my anxiety and overwhelm, and this is without thinking about the bigger stuff, the coronavirus, who it might affect, how our society is going to handle it, how our country is going to handle it. So there's a lot going on for all of us emotionally, and I think the first thing is to recognize and understand it, and to be gentle and compassionate on ourselves, because there's a lot to handle, and then trying to work and to try and do our work from home. So just to say that we're all in this together, we're all feeling this, even the stress management and mindfulness experts, no one's got it right, there's no right. This is just about navigating and not recognizing our feelings and emotions and helping us to manage it through this time. And this is building resilience and teaching our children how to build resilience, because through this time we're going to be showing them life skills as to how to navigate stressful situations, and this is why we're so passionate about teaching some of these tools today.
So one of the most amazing things about breath is, well, it's with us all the time, and it goes with us wherever we go, and it's for free. But apart from that, it has a physiological impact on the body, and this is why we're so passionate about it. And as Nikki was saying, she's been in a situation with the kids at school and the family dynamics, and I'm going into self-isolation for 21 days, and I'll be alone. So sort of my anxiety is around, well, okay, no human contact for maybe 10 days will be quite great, but how do I reframe it? How do I look at this more as a self-retreat? What do I do with it? And what are the tools that I can use in my own life for the next 21 days? And as Nikki was saying, we all have different facets. We're all going to have great moments, and we're all going to have bad moments. And it's about how do we actually deal with that, either with mindfulness practices or with breathwork practices. And I think one of the most amazing things about teaching kids is they take to it easily. It's fun. They often teach the parents, and they also remember it. So it's embedded in a neural pathway for them. And physiologically, what really happens is when you breathe in, you're either in your sympathetic or parasympathetic system. And at this stage, we probably all sit in our sympathetic systems. We're anxious, we're stressed, it's fight or flight mode. And what we want to do is we want to bring ourselves back to a parasympathetic state. And we want our kids to be in the parasympathetic state. And that's really where all healing happens. That's when we relax. That's our rest and digest mode, and those sort of things.
Our creative parts.
Yeah, absolutely.
Learning.
And we can tap into a lot of creativity, innovative things, and that's what we also have to do over the next 21 days. So one of the real fundamental, foundational breaths that we use as adults and that we teach kids, so we call it a spaghetti breath for kids. And when I'm describing it, I always say to kids, like, well, what does uncooked spaghetti look like? You know, it's hard, it's not tasty, although I have seen some kids eat this. And sometimes we feel like that inside. So we're feeling highly strung, it's a bit anxious, tight inside, sometimes tight in our bodies. But what we really want to feel like, inside and out, is we want to feel like spaghetti that's been cooked. So squishy, soft, tasty, and those sort of things. And how this technique works, it's quite simple. So you're taking a breath right from your belly, and we always breathe in from our belly. We don't want to breathe from our chest, breathe in from our belly. We take a strong inhale right up through our noses. And then you're just really relaxing it out through the mouth, okay? So it's a strong inhale through the nose. And let's do another one. And one more. So you're feeling like a spaghetti, and this is great for if there's a bit of chaos in the house, or you know, kids just need to calm down in the moment, or perhaps before dinner. Do that, and you can do it in the car. Nowadays you can't do it in the car, we need to be doing it at home, and things like that. So that's a great one for just centering.
You can do it really exaggerated for kids, so it can be really fun. So the breath in and like a real falling down on their beds or on their floor, and a real release like that. And then for adults it can be more of a getting into a hot bath at the end of the day, and just I can put down like the weight of the world. I can just let it all go. So it's the two, just the physical letting go and becoming present.
That's a beautiful way to also just center yourself as an adult, and we often call it the coming home breath.
Coming into the present, and especially when that hamster wheel's going in our minds and we awfulizing and tripping into the future or thinking about the past. It's such a great grounding breath.
And Nikki, maybe you want to talk about the bunny breath for big emotions.
Yeah.
I'm sure that there's some crying or heavy anxiety for the kids.
So the bunny breath is one of my favorite breaths. I find it incredibly effective. It's for adults as well as children, but we call it the bunny breath for children. So again, we ask children, what do bunnies do? And they all tell us that they hop and they chew, eat, and then they sniff. And so this is a little sniffing breath, and it's for, as Marj says, big emotions, like big fear, big upset, big excitement and unmanageable and uncontainable excitement, big fear, any of those sorts of feelings. And it's those times when I sometimes explain it like a child's in a sobbing sadness, or even if they've hurt themselves. I've used this often with boys who, when they've hurt themselves, cut themselves, thought they've been stung by a bee, things like that, where it isn't helpful to actually say, stop and take a deep breath. They just can't. They in that sobbing sadness. And what you do, this goes with the sob, so you encourage them or ourselves to take 3 little sniffs and breathe out through your mouth. Last one. And just within a few breaths like that, it's really grounding and really calming. So it goes with, also we do it when we're running or physically exerting ourselves and we're getting very tired. It's a great breath to do. So that's called the bunny breath, and it's a really good breath for helping to calm down when we have those big emotions.
And while Nikki's explaining this, the exhale bit, what really happens is, if you're in a state of extreme stress or anxiety, what you want to be doing is you want to be extending your exhale. So any lengthening of the exhale is going to put you into deep relaxation. And one of the breaths that we use, particularly for kids if they can't sleep, and this also works amazingly for adults in high states of stress or anxiety, and when you really need to put your body into deep relaxation. So we're doubling up the exhale. And for kids, it's often about breathing in through the nose for a count of 2, and then breathing out through the mouth for a count of 4. And we'll do that now. And for adults, you can double that up. So for adults, you could perhaps breathe in for a count of 4 and breathe out for a count of 8. So as long as you're doubling up your exhale and you're exhaling through the mouth. So all of these breaths are about breathing in through the nose and then out through the nose or the mouth. So in terms of for young kids, maybe under the age of 9, you want to be breathing in for a count of, so Breathe in for 1, 2. Breathe out 1, 2, 3, 4. In 1, 2. Out 2, 3, 4. And in for 1, 2. Out 2, 3, 4. And on each exhale, just remind them to bring themselves into a state of relaxation.
It's a wonderfully grounding breath. So as long when you're feeling these feelings of anxiety and overwhelm, to really just focusing on extending our exhale is very powerful in grounding us quite quickly. So that's what we call the double up breath. So far it's been the spaghetti breath, the bunny breath, and this double up breath. And now we're going to take you through one last one, the take 5 breath. The take 5 breath is a really good one for focused work, for calming, for being present. This isn't so much when children are feeling very overwhelmed. We'd use more the bunny or the double up. This is more for, okay, sitting down to work, let me get focused. It can be for at night, calming down for night time, things like that. So we use our hands for this, and you hold up one hand, and then as you're breathing in, you're gently tracing the side of your thumb, and then as you breathe out through your nose or your mouth, you trace down, and then you breathe in always through your nose and breathe out. Breathe in and out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. And if we've done that those 5 fingers, we've actually slowed our breath down for a minute, which is already accessing our parasympathetic nervous system. So just doing it once starts that, but probably to do it 3 or 4 times, or for a minute or 2. Well, once is about a minute, so 3 or 4 times would be 3 or 4 minutes, and that's really grounding and calming. Another way we can use this breath is research pioneered by the HeartMath Institute, who do incredible research on showing how many neurons we actually have from our hearts to our brains, rather than we've actually got more neurons from our hearts to our brains than we have from our brains to our hearts. So if we do this sort of breath, but we bring a feeling of gratitude or love or connection as we're doing it, we activate the serotonin and dopamine and all the feel-good hormones and neurotransmitters in our brain. So even though things might not change on the outside, we feel so much better. So this is a really powerful tool that we teach to children, for them to help to feel more connected, to feel happier, and to also help people when they're feeling helpless. So a lot of children are worrying about the world at the moment. They're worrying about loved ones. They might be worrying about their community. And this is a breath that's really helpful. So they can do a few breaths like this, doing the take 5. Just maybe do this once or twice just to get into a calm state. And then to bring their hands to their hearts and just carrying on breathing slowly and rhythmically, and then bringing a feeling of gratitude or love, maybe bringing an image of someone that they love, or that this is a very powerful breath for adults too, someone we love unconditionally, or it can be an animal, or even a place, somewhere where we feel love and gratitude or connection. And just breathing in and holding on to that feeling of love and connection into our hearts as we do this breath. And just doing that for a minute, it's 5 or 6 slow breaths. And then if there is someone or something that we're particularly worried about, doing that breath, and then visualizing that person or place or our country while we're doing it, but bringing a feeling of gratitude and love and connection to it as we do that. And it's something that's very powerful, and children have often said they feel like they're doing something, that they can actually affect things. And the HeartMath Institute, I encourage you to look up some of their work. They really are doing things. It's incredible how our brains and our hearts work. So we hope that these are helpful.
Absolutely.
Is there anything you want to add?
No, I think, you want to teach the kids the technique before they need it. So it's difficult to teach it to them when they're having the moment of the meltdown. And then you also want to be modeling these at home. You want to be practicing them yourself. And thank you for the opportunity, and keep breathing.
And we hope you'll enjoy watching this video with your family and perhaps with your children, and as Marj says, practicing them a little bit. And children are quick adopters. It's quite incredible, because they feel how it works in their body, and they feel the changes it makes. So we get a lot of feedback that children then do it at home or teach their families. So please, we encourage you to do this